President Juan Ponce Enrile ang naganap na audit din ng Bangko Sentral sa kanilang bangko. Tungkol dito sa audit, kaunti lamang ang naibigay na impormasyon ni Annabel Tiongson dahil anya hindi siya ang direktang nakausap ng mga representante ng Bangko Sentral, ngunit ang head office nitong PS Bank. Matatandaan po na noong Thursday, huling araw ng paglilitis nung nakaraang linggo, ay naisiwalat nitong si Annabel Tiongson dito sa paglilitis itong pagpunta ni Congressman Bolet Banal dito sa PS Bank Katipunan Branch noong January 31 ngayong taon upang humingi ng tulong sa kanya tungkol dito sa ilang mga signature cards na anyay kay Chief Justice Renato Corona. Ngunit anya tinanggihan niya itong paghingi ng tulong nitong o pagbibigay ng tulong dito sa kay Congressman Banal dahil sinabi niya ay itong mga records ng mga depositors ng PS Bank ay pribado at hindi niya maaaring ikumpirma o i-deny itong authenticity ng mga dokumentong dala ni Congressman Banal.
So may kita nga natin na sa pagpapakilala ni Congressman Banal, right on the onset, sinabi niya na tumutulong siya sa Impeachment Secretariat at kung humingi siya ng tulong on a personal basis. At tumagal yung kanila conversation for 10 to 20 minutes lang daw ayon sa kay Annabel Tiongson at pinanarate ni Senator Juan Ponce Enrile yung sequence of personnel na kinausap niya na kung saan sinabi nga ni Miss Annabel Tiongson nung naramdaman niya yung parang shock, di ba, nung upo sa kanyang desk, ay kinausap doon niya 3 tao. At nagsimula po ito doon sa area head ng kanilang bank na tinawagan niya, sa branch banking head, sunod na kanyang tinawagan. At sa pangatlo na tumawag sa kanya, si Jose Vicente Alde, ang kanilang Executive Vice President sa Regional Banking.
Ito pa rin, Gio, ang pagbusisi ni Presiding Officer Juan Ponce Enrile tungkol dito sa sequence of events, kung sino yung mga may access sa vault. Ito pa rin ang bahagi nitong paghahanap ng Senado ng katotohanan sa kung paano lumabas itong mga confidential documents ng mga depositors na ito kasi apparently ang kanilang iniisip na kung totoo man itong mga dokumento na ito ay nagkaroon ng breach dito sa bank secrecy law.
Na kung titingnan nga natin, pati yung nabanggit dati ni Ms. Annabel Tiongson na nagkaroon ng BSP audit, gawa nga po ng AMLAC na Anti-Money Laundering Council, ay tinanong din ni Senator Juan Ponce Enrile kung anong records ang nabigay sa kanila. At nakwento nga ng kanilang branch manager sa PS Bank ni Ms. Tiongson na ang branch head, ang presidente po ng mismong bangko, ng mismong PS Bank, ang nakipag-usap directly sa BSP at nagawa po ang auditing sa central office. At makikita natin na sabi nga ni Ms. Annabel Tiongson, she was not privy to the conversation about the auditing sapagkat nagpadala ng mga records lang via email doon sa controlling officer na nag-resign na po since the first quarter of 2010.
Matatandaan natin na Gio noong Thursday ay personal na nagsalita itong si Congressman Banal dito before the Senate Impeachment Court dahil inexplain niya, kanyang ipinaliwanag itong naging rason sa kanyang pagpunta dito sa PS Bank Katipunan Branch at kanyang sinabi na he did it on his own at hindi na nga niya isinabi dito sa mga miyembro ng prosecution panel.
Balik po tayo sa Senate Impeachment Court.
Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago.
The lady from Iloilo is recognized.
I am told by counsel she's in the bathroom and will be coming momentarily.
At ay tutuloy ko lang, Gia, yung aking sinasabi kanina, humarap before the impeachment court itong si Congressman Bolet Banal at sinabi nga niya na hindi niya isiniwalat sa kanyang mga kasamahan mula sa Kongreso itong mga signature cards na dinala sa kanyang bahay dahil hindi niya mismo ito na-verifika.
At makikita nga natin na handa nang magtanong si Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago ng clarificatory questions kay Ms. Annabel Tiongson. At narito na po siya ulit
Ms. Witness,
para
you're testifying
ipagpatuloy
under the
ang
same oath,
impeachment
to tell the
trial.
truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please do not be nervous. I am very, very
So cold.
practiced with witnesses who come to court for the very first time. I strongly suggest that you take a sip of water, which is what we do when the witness is disturbed. And please do not think that I'm going to try and trap you with a clever question. I will not do that with you, since you are in effect an impartial witness. I want to reveal you to the public in all your beauty and in the full glory of your college education. I am your friend. It appears from your narration recently that you were deeply disturbed by the visit of Mr. Banal. Is that a correct impression?
Yes,
You
Your
were
Honor.
so disturbed that you went on a round of talks from one superior officer of the bank to another. Isn't that so?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you had reason to be, because I think even only subconsciously, you remembered that you and he were talking about a foreign currency deposit. You are talking about a foreign currency deposit that did not belong to him. Is that why you were disturbed?
I was disturbed, Your Honor, because apparently this person was holding what seemed like a bank document, which was supposed to be
Absolutely
confidential.
confidential, yes. So you're putting it in another way, but more or less we have reached the same conclusion. And maybe even only in your subconscious, you remembered, maybe during your seminar or orientation as a bank manager, that under the law called Instituting a Foreign Currency Deposit System in the Philippines, Section 8, which is entitled Secrecy of Foreign Currency Deposits, provides that all foreign currency deposits, etc., are hereby declared as and considered of an absolutely confidential nature, and, except upon the written permission of the depositor, in no instance shall foreign currency deposits be examined, inquired, or looked into by any person. I think that, as a college graduate, it was impressed in your mind that even if a person merely asks a question about a foreign currency deposit that does not belong to him, he's already violating the law. Would you say that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Because the law is very, very strict. It says, Section 8, Secrecy of Foreign Currency Deposits. These deposits are of an absolutely confidential in nature and, except upon the written permission of the depositor, in no instance, that's the law speaking, in no instance shall foreign currency deposits be examined, inquired into. Inquired into. The law even prohibits any person from asking any question. Inquired into or looked into by any person, government official, bureau of office, etc. So the prohibition is absolute. Even any ordinary person, without showing any motive or fraudulent intention, the minute he walks into a bank and asks about a foreign currency deposit from the branch manager's head should already resound with bells and whistles, because the law prohibits you not only from giving information, but even the person or the visitor from asking about it. I think that was the reason for your unease after the departure of your guest. And you were correct, because under Section 10 penal provisions, any willful violation of this act or any regulation by the Monetary Board shall subject the offender upon conviction to imprisonment of not less than 1 year nor more than 5 years or a fine. So I have raised this question with you just to assure you, since you look so miserable there on the witness stand, that what you are doing was completely correct. You are acting pursuant exactly to the language of the law, unlike a lawmaker who, although a lawmaker, was already a lawbreaker. I do not wish for you to answer this question. That is my personal view as a lawyer and as a judge here in this court. Perhaps people should read the law more carefully, particularly when they're entrusted with making the law. And may I say there is a similar provision with the domestic currency deposit law. Now, I'm no longer going to ask you a question. I will just make a manifestation. I'm no longer talking to you. I would like to manifest to my honorable and distinguished colleagues in the impeachment court. According to the timeline I have tried to draw, Mr. Banal received a copy, an anonymous copy of the signature card on January 30. He has no clue where it came from. On February 2, Representative Reynaldo Umali received an envelope purporting to contain also the same documents with signature cards, and he has no clue where it came from. What is a judge to make of this situation? The judge will, of course, turn to the rules of evidence, particularly Rule 131, Section 3, entitled Disputable Presumptions. The following presumptions are satisfactory if uncontradicted, but may be contradicted and overcome by other evidence. A, B, C, etc. Letter J, that a person found in possession of a thing taken during the doing of a recent wrongful act is the taker and doer of the whole act. Let me repeat. Disputable presumption that a person found in possession of a thing taken in the doing of a recent wrongful act is the taker and the doer of the whole act. If a person is found in possession of signature cards relating to a foreign currency deposit, which the law declares to be absolutely confidential except for the written consent of the depositor, if he is found to have it in his possession, he cannot say without more, for to allege is not to prove. He cannot say without more evidence that he does not know how it came to his possession, because then the law steps in and raises the disputable presumption that he was the thief of that signature card. That is the presumption in our rules of court. Of course, it can overcome by substantial evidence, depending on the judgment of this court. Let me also go on, since I'm citing the disputable presumptions. Letter Y, another disputable presumption, that things have happened according to the ordinary course of nature and the ordinary habits of life. Again, that is a disputable presumption. Normally, short ladies, short, long, tall, white, broad, etc., do not give us incidents unless documents, unless we know her, or if she is anonymous, then we stop her. I've done that many times when I've stepped out of session hall. I've always stopped the person and say, what is your name? Where are you from? What is this about? I will then turn to my aide and say, will you please take care of this? And I turn to the visitor and say, you may follow it up with her. That is normally what a politician does. We don't just accept pieces of paper. In my case, for example, because of threats to my life in a prior position and in a prior life, I'm careful to identify the person who is giving me something, especially if it is in the form of a package that I cannot visibly see from outside. So, we have to presume that things have happened according to the ordinary course of life. Lumalabas ka, sukat ka binigyan ng envelope, wala kang pakialam. Saka mo na lang binuksan, tapos, voila, there's an presumably illegally obtained document inside the envelope. Ngayon sasabihin mo, hindi ko intindi bakit narating sa akin yan. There's the law. The law says, pag hindi mo pinapaliwanag yan, ang ibig sabihin, ikaw ang nagnakaw niyan. Kung pickpocket ka, at nasa bus ka, pagkatapos may nawalang pitaka, at ikaw may hawak, sasabihin ng pulis, ikaw palang magnanakaw eh. Anong paliwanag mo? Ngayon din yon sa ating kaso ngayon. That things have happened according to the ordinary course of nature and the ordinary habits of life. The other congressman said, I was driving into my house. In the driveway, I found attached to the gate, or in a situation more or less similar, an envelope, and when I opened it, voila, there's the signature card. And there's no other further explanation. Is that an ordinary habit of life? To walk to your gate and find envelopes stuck there? Don't you have a mailbox? Don't you have a house helper who can be trusted to receive mail in your address?